Howdy, folks. Thanks for tuning in. Hope y'all are doing alright today. So, I don't really know the point behind what I'm about to say. Aside from just to, I guess, air this out and try to find some sort of peace about it. So, it's what? Sunday right now. Friday night. We're all at the house, kind of chilling. We had some plans with family members coming over that kind of fell through, and it worked out good that they did. My wife we were all just sitting in the living room watching TV. My wife went to the restroom, and she wandered into the kitchen. And I'm, like nothing out of the ordinary is going on, not really paying a lot of attention. All of a sudden, my teenager says, hey, Dad, Mom needs some help in the kitchen. I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. Probably I'm thinking she needed help getting something out of one of the top cabinets. She was going to make something, we're watching AFV, so I'm thinking, the popcorn got shoved back in the cabinet up top. Okay. I get up, walk around the corner into the kitchen, and she's on the floor struggling to breathe. Her throat swelled up. She's allergic to a couple odd things, and we've had this problem before. It's never this bad, thankfully, but I popped a couple dissolvable Zyrtex under her tongue and got her to breathing again. Well, she was on the floor, got some water in her, kind of tried to get her, comfortable and sorted out, and she's, man, that was a little scary. Okay, fine. Well, I go to get her up off the floor, and she's, a little shaky still, a little weak from just having had a anaphylactic reaction to something. So I go to get her up. She takes a couple steps and starts to go back down. I'm like, well, this ain't no good. This went on a couple more times. I finally get her into one of the chairs in the dining room, and she's real clammy to the touch. She's having a hard time like keeping her head up. Her eyes kept kind of wandering around, rolling back in her head. So after a couple more seconds of trying to keep her awake and focused, I just called 911. We got her an ambulance ride. And bear in mind, like at that point in time, I was trying to get her dressed and help her to get into one of the cars. And so when that happened, so she got where she was not able to stay focused, and then she got where she was squalling quite a bit, crying because she was scared. And so I called 911. We got help on the way, got her loaded in an ambulance, and then the weirdest thing happened. She could not talk. She could text, but she couldn't speak. She'd try to talk, and she'd start mumbling, and then she'd get frustrated and start mumbling louder and louder and louder. So I just kept helping her out. I helped the paramedics get her out of the house, got her in the ambulance, go back there with her. All of her vitals were okay. Her blood pressure was a little bit low, but all the rest of her vitals were okay. Pulse was good, O2 sat was good, blood pressure was a little low. And she can't talk, but she can nod her head yes or no. She's got motor function. She can text on a phone, so things are going okay. I followed her to the hospital because I know this was kind of irrational, but I'm hoping, okay, it's kind of late in the evening, but somewhere around 3 or 4 in the morning she'll take a nap, wake up, kind of be rebooted and be okay. I've seen stuff like that happen before and heard of it happen more often. That didn't happen. Stayed up at the hospital all night Friday, most of the day Saturday, and then she had been improving during the entire time. Multiple scans, multiple tests, urinalysis, blood work, MRI, CT, they did X-ray, on and on and on and on and on the list goes. Get her squared away in a hospital room. Her and I pass out for a little bit, wake up, deal with doctors. We're in and out the whole time. So finally I head home. I get some sleep, and I'm heading back over there today. I called her. She's okay. She's still a little slow and foggy brained, but she's doing okay. They're talking about discharging her either today or tomorrow. They're wanting to do a couple more tests, and based on the results of those tests will determine whether she leaves today or tomorrow. They might want to do some follow-up stuff with her, but that what they're doing remains to be seen, and what the verdict is remains to be seen. But I'm heading back over there. I got some clothing and some shower stuff for her so she can brush her teeth and wash her hair and get cleaned up and all that. She hadn't had a shower in a few days, so I'm sure that she'll enjoy getting clean. But I guess the whole point behind this is just one of those things, like, you never know what crazy wild turns life's going to take, even on the, even going completely crazy at the drop of a hat. A few years ago, I agree, this was 6-7 years ago now, I was on night shift. We hadn't moved out to the country yet. My dad was sick, but he hadn't gotten in the terminal stage of his cancer. I was on night shift. I'm asleep in bed. The normal routine was my wife would come in, wake me up. She'd have something ready to eat. I'd eat lunch or whatever meal it is you eat at 2:30 in the afternoon when you first wake up with her, and then I'd go to work. Well, she comes in and wakes me up. She's on the bed. She's like, I need you to get up in like 5 more minutes. She's like, no, right now. I'm like, okay, what's up? She's like, I can't feel my legs. I'm like, what do you mean? Are they like numb, tingly, asleep? Did you sit down on the toilet too long? I'm trying to figure out, because I'm, sleepy fog and everything else. So I'm, asking questions. And come to find out that she had been cooking and cleaning, got to a stopping point for a couple minutes, sat down in the chair to take a break, went to stand back up, and couldn't feel her legs or use them from the knees down. So she was highly concerned about that. She scooted herself off the chair onto the floor and scooted into the bedroom to get me up. I managed to shuffle her out to the car and went to the hospital. She was there for about a week. They came up with 2 possible diagnoses for it, none of which were exactly proven, because all the symptoms lined up and all the test results lined up where it could have been this or could have been that. But she had to do a little bit of physical therapy to get steady at walking again. So yeah, just kind of wild, the things that life throws at you. And I was scared to death Friday night. When the ambulance left the house, my mother was there, and I had to go back inside. There was just a couple things that I wanted to grab, because I knew, hey, I'm going to be at the hospital for at least 2-3 hours, so I'm going to be ready to stay there for a little while, if not, overnight. And so I ran back inside, grabbed a couple things, go to the bathroom, give the kids a hug, tell them everything was okay, kind of reassure them. Then I'm on the road, and 2 to 5 minutes, I left behind the ambulance, and I even took the slow car. But I had caught back up with the ambulance without their lights on within 5 minutes. I was using my two favorite things, speed and power, and even though I didn't have power, eventually I had speed. So just kind of wild the things can happen in life, at the drop of a hat. Like I said, I'm heading over there today. She's stable, she's fine. I talked to her on the phone. They wanted to do 1 or 2 more tests today, and depending on those results, she'll be out. I'm hoping she can come home tonight. That way we can figure out what next week looks like. She will not be able to work next week, but if she could be at home, that would make things a little easier as far as getting the kids on the bus and things like that. Getting the kids off the bus, having an adult there when they get home, just things of that nature. Like, I've got family all around, thank God. The kids are staying with another one of their great-grandmother on her side of the family right now. They'll be coming home tonight for school, but if she could just be home, I'm sure everyone will be resting a little easier. So that's kind of where things are at. I hope everybody's doing okay. Stay safe, stay sane. Don't get too committed to your plans, because stuff like this can happen, and life goes on. So keep y'all in the loop on that. Take care. Thanks for tuning in. I'll catch y'all next time. Have a good one.